Welcome, everybody, back to Wire2Wire Sports Podcast. I'm the NFL genius, Gene Walzak. And in the upper left corner, we got Kent State's own, Cleveland's own, College Cutro.
Gentlemen, how we feeling? We got the trade deadline today. We got some news that we're going over on Hotwire, where I thought the trade deadline might look a little bit differently for my team here. I saw you guys got somebody added into the bullpen there. How y'all feeling today?
I feel great when I seen the prospects the Phillies gave up for Duran. I feel great about that. Eduardo Tate, a catcher, they're probably going to re-sign Romito anyway. And then Mick Abel, who's a guy I've been very, very open about that I don't think he's that good. So I'm good. I'm great. Need a closer, club control for the next 3 years. I'm good there. Upper right corner, Scholastic Shally, Uncle Shally, head down Shally. He's taking a nap, Mr. William Shalco.
He means business. What are you talking about?
How's all the details of the trade. That's all. Yeah.
It's a good trade.
Nap. I wish it was a nap. I need a nap, but I'm ready to go.
It's a very good trade, though. Very good trade for the Phillies. Happy about the trade deadline so far. I would go out there and just get one more guy. Get Justin Crawford away and get me Mason Miller, and I'll call it a day, and I'll be happy.
So you just need the richest of closers.
What'd you say?
I said you just want the richest of closers.
I can't hear both of you guys when you talk. One at a time, please.
I said you just need to be spoiled and riches for closers.
An 8th and 9th inning guy. We don't have either one. Strom's a 7th inning guy at best. I'm not thrilled with our bullpen. Best bullpen in baseball last year, remember? Didn't work out very well. I would like Stephen Kwan too, but I'll take one or the other.
He's playing right now, so no, he's not available.
Well, the trade deadline is tomorrow, so we're good.
Trade deadline is tomorrow, 6 o'clock.
I know, but I'm just saying he's playing right now, so you're not in on that.
Oh, we're in. We're in.
Can always be taken out of the game.
What's on Hotwire for tonight, Cottrell?
All right, so more. I feel like this week's a little bit more newsy than just kind of debates or things like that. But first things first here, I want to go college football route. We're almost at that time of year. College football season's heating up here. Coach Prime had a press conference a couple days ago and revealed that he had his bladder removed because he had a tumor that was cancerous. He did say that he still will be coaching, and he said don't be surprised if you see some porta potties on the field there, and he made some jokes about how he depends now. But just wanted to bring this up here, just with Prime is one of the biggest name coaches in college football here, so wanted to get your guys' thoughts here, thoughts, reactions. Do you see this being something where Prime is potentially out of Colorado rather quickly here? I know before we would, talking about Prime and, Travis not being there, Shedeur not being there, we talked about he might be on the first thing, out of town here. Obviously, this is something serious here, but just wanted to get your guys' thoughts, reactions to the Prime news.
Shal?
I was shocked, obviously, and I think I think you have to give Deion credit, for coaching through it. We've seen other coaches in the past step away for a lot less or, even fake situations. But I don't think it is. I don't think this is his way out. I don't like that people are kind of insinuating that. And, if the man legit had bladder cancer and had his bladder removed, didn't miss a game, kept it from everybody, even at one point, he said that he lied to his kids. I don't like the trying of the takedown or to make an excuse saying he's going to leave Colorado now. Again, it's kind of the shittier side of sports journalism, in my opinion.
Literally.
Yeah. So I think, again, I think you just tip your hat to him. It hasn't stopped him from coaching, recruiting. He said he's ready to go for this year. I don't think he's leaving. I don't think he's leaving anytime soon. And I think if he did leave, I don't think it would be to stop coaching. I think he would leave. I've said this before. I think it would be to leave to, go to a bigger program or to go to the pros. So I don't think this in any way has anything to do with Shador and all those guys graduating last year. So happy that he's cancer free because you love him or hate him. He is a huge name in the sport of football in general, and he's been very good for college football. So I'm glad that he beat it, and hopefully he stays healthy and the cancer doesn't show up anywhere else.
If you hate him, you're a hater. You can't hate him. I hate the people that hate him. You cannot hate him for being marketable. You cannot hate him for bringing football back to Colorado. You cannot hate him for the way he's done a great job in marketing his kids and getting kids. Like, you can't hate him for those things. I listen, at the end of the day, do I think people were delusional about Colorado football for years? Absolutely. I said that on this show. But I don't hate Coach Prime for getting Colorado talked about more in the last 2 years than they have for the last 3 decades in college football. So call it like it is. Good for him. I'm happy that Colorado gets those conversations. Now, I'm really sorry about what happened, and I'm glad that he seems like he's on the up and up and doing better. And that's all I'm really going to say about that. Like, I'm glad he's doing better. I don't think this will be an out for him to leave Colorado. If he wants to leave, okay. I have no problem with that either. That's kind of the realm of college football. You take a bad program, you make it into a decent program, and then a good program picks you up. Colorado's not Alabama. Colorado's not Texas. Colorado's not Florida or Georgia or Ohio State or Penn State. Like, what's going to happen is if one of those schools come knocking for Coach Prime, you'd be a moron to pass that up to stay at Boulder, Colorado. It's not the same thing. If USC gets tired of Lincoln Riley after this year and they call up Coach Prime, he better say yes to that statement. If the Dallas Cowboys next year get tired of another Schottenheimer and they go and get Coach Prime, good for them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with really everything that you said there. I think the one interesting thing is that, of course, we've already kind of touched on what, people are going to say about Prime and things like this, regarding this. And I think the big thing too is he's kind of really leaned into it. Like, I think it was interesting that he had a press conference where he actually had his doctors there and, just let people know what all he has gone through. But it wasn't a thing like hey, I'm taking time off or this. Like, the fact that he's been going through this for the past, however many months there, and no one even knew before that press conference happens, really just kind of lets you know, like, where his mind is at in terms of doing whatever he can to be there for that Colorado team. Like, I always thought that he would stay at Colorado until a better option presented itself. I came on here, I said that I thought he was going to take the Florida State job when that opens, when Norvell is ultimately fired after the letdown from where Florida State used to be at. Like, I've always said that I think that was his major plan through and through there. But I mean, I think it's commendable there. And, I think as far as like college football goes, you talk about like the Georgias and, all those big time schools there. I think Deion Sanders is being a great example of how to actually lead young men. Like, we talked about it last week with Georgia and how Kirby Smart has handled things within his program. Like, there's so many small things that like Prime has done. And granted, there's stuff that I don't agree with that he's done either. But like having his star players playing bowl games, holding players accountable as far as like in the classroom. Like last year, LaJohntay Wester couldn't wear number 1 until he got his grades up. Obviously this, like, you're going through, you got your bladder removed and you had cancer and you're hardly missing practices. And you said you're even down to put a porta potty on the field just so that you can be there and make sure you're coaching those guys and things like that. So, I mean, I think it's very commendable there. I'm just hoping that it doesn't get the spin. Obviously hope everything goes well and that he doesn't have to leave or take any leaves of absences or anything like that. But if that does happen, I hope this isn't something that people would count as a blemish towards him.
Okay. So we got. Let's move forward.
So that is it for that. Also this week, Hulk Hogan passed away. And he had some tribute shows. I saw got the 10 bell salute on NXT. Also had the tribute on Raw there as well. Hulk Hogan is one of those ones where it's like, some people are afraid to have the conversations about him because as much as you may have loved him as a wrestler, is everything about him, like outside of the ring, with things that he said, just stuff that he believed in, like don't necessarily agree with it. So no, one way or another, you're probably not a huge Hulk Hogan fan, the actual person himself, whether the character aside there. But I wanted to get your guys' thoughts, reactions to Hulk Hogan passing there.
I could care less. I could care less. I don't care. I don't. I have zero remorse. I have no empathy for him. I don't care. And honestly, I think the WWE. I understand why they honored him, because he exploded the WWE. Absolutely exploded it. Like, Ric Flair made wrestling, and Hulk Hogan blew it up. And that's what he was early in the 90s. I was a Hulkamaniac in 1992, 100%. Could care less that the man died. Piece of shit. Sorry, don't care. And I'll say the uncomfortable thing out loud. I don't mind. The guy was on tape. Bring it up. The guy was on tape saying the N-word multiple times. He's a bad person. And the ego and everything that happened with him at WCW, where he refused to get pinned, he had full creative control. And even if the storyline called for it, or I'm not a fan. And listen, when I was growing up, once again, let me be clear. In 1995, Hulkamania, I loved it. I didn't know what he was. Now that he's passed away, now that everything happened, who cares? Don't care. Charlie, any comments?
No, I mean, it's like you guys have both alluded to. It's a complicated conversation. It's separating the character and, like Gene said, what he did for the wrestling business versus who he is as a person. Gene's referencing the 2007 interview and stuff that was taped where he's openly using, racial remarks and, it's weird that it took so long to come to light, because I think everybody tried to bury it for so long, because I think they thought Hulk was kind of untouchable because of who he was as a wrestling character. And then it finally came out way later in life. He didn't handle it well right when it came out. He kind of gave it the old college, it was 15 years ago, I'm a different person. Didn't show remorse for it right away. Could have handled it way, way better. I think if you watch the SmackDown tribute, which I thought was nice, but I think if you listen to what Cody said, I think what Cody said was accurate. I think, you can have your thoughts on who he is as a person, which I think we would all agree on, and still recognize what he did for the business. And what Gene said is true. Ric Flair was a guy that was down in the South, and when Vince McMahon bought WWE in the early 80s, Hogan, mid to late 80s, became this figure that was, larger than life. He was the first guy to cross over, do movies. He was huge. And he is why professional wrestling is the way it is today. So he's no different than any other athlete that, maybe somebody, has loved or been great, but off the field, not been a good person. It's just that same, complicated, discussion. And racism is one of those things. It's not, I think that's probably the hardest one, I think, to probably turn around and say, just on a whim, say, I'm not that person anymore. I always find that excuse to be very difficult to accept. If you're 50 years old and that's obviously what you believe and that's what you're saying, off camera and behind closed doors, I don't believe you 3 years later just because you got caught saying that you don't feel that way or you're not that person anymore. So that's a tough one to walk back.
He didn't even walk it back. He said, I am a racist to a point. Like that was literally what he said. I am a racist to a point. Talking about his daughter dating a black man. That was the whole thing that came up.
So
sorry.
And it's fine. I mean, it just adds on to what I'm saying. And I think I think it really came to a head when you started to see the negative fan reactions when they would reel him out for, an anniversary Raw show or something like that. He started to get booed because people started to hold him accountable.
Appearance. Yeah, but that's WWE's fault for keep giving him appearances. If you go out in public and say I'm a racist, I'm kind of a racist, and drop the N-word 16 times on a tape, and then in 2015 when it surfaces, it's not who I am, blah, blah, blah. And there's multiple things that come out that say that's who you are, and the WWE still puts you on camera. That's their stinking fault. And what you're referring to is night one at Netflix. He came out there with Jimmy Hart to promote something, and they booed him off stage. Screw you, dude. We don't want you here.
That's when I think it became real. I mean, I was at the anniversary Raw show, and there was definitely boos there when he came out. And fans started holding him accountable, and it became, again, he never, like Gene said, you can't say something and then because it comes out, then say, oh, well, yeah, I did say it, but that's not who I am anymore. Like, those can't be the first things out of your mouth other than, like, it's got to start with, I'm sorry and an apology and everything else. And then if you want to go down that road, you can. But he never took that path. Like Gene said, it's a bad moment in my life. I didn't react well to my daughter dating, a black man, and I said things like there was always just an excuse. And today's age, people, you can't, and it's a good thing just in a general, societal, in the world type thing, you just can't get away with that shit anymore. Like it's not tolerated like it used to be. And it doesn't matter if you're Hulk Hogan or if you're Joe Schmo. So again, it sucks that he died. I'm not, I don't like, kind of like, even if you hate Dion, like it's a human being type thing. You don't ever want to see anybody get cancer. Dying sucks, but at the same time, it's not, it's not, I don't think it hit as hard as it would have, obviously, if that stuff had never come out and that whole persona of his was protected forever. I think it would have been a way different situation, because there's a lot of people that, quite frankly, just don't care.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. And, Gene said a lot of what I was thinking there specifically with it. It's just one of those things like, all right, like it happens, kind of moves on. Because similar to how we had a conversation before a couple months ago, like 2025 is holding no prisoners. Like first it was Jim Irsay, like now Hulk Hogan. Like it just, people in sports, a lot of people just don't care about. Die, you talk about it, pay your respects, just kind of move on. So ultimately, really where I stand with it. Of course, like I follow WWE things like that, but with me being younger than what both of you got, like you guys were probably watching WWE like prime Hulk Hogan, like you guys were so into it. And like obviously I know Hulk is a legend, like things like that, like seeing him come back. And I mean, even when I was a kid, like watching, like he would still be around, obviously not as an everyday kind of guy, but still be around a ton. So definitely respect him as that. But even for me though, I'm like, yeah, legend for sure. But in my mind, like, although in reality he is, but like for me, like he's not Rock. Like Rock was, this would be a whole different conversation. Like, if it happens to Rock, and I know for a lot of people in different generations, like he was their Rock. Like he's the start of everything.
Rock's a selfish son of a bitch too, but that's not for here nor there. It's not a self admitted racist. And I don't think it was embarrassing, by the way, David. I love your comments. That was embarrassing for Hulk. It was embarrassing maybe for Hulk. Yeah, that makes sense. The opening of Raw on Netflix. But it wasn't embarrassing for the fan. I'm glad the fans did that. That was smart. Loved it.
He should have known woman too. Like, honestly, at a point, like if you don't want to be like, you should know that they're gonna boo you.
I didn't think he thought that at all.
He's not turning that WWE Legends contract money down.
Well, I mean, I get that too.
All righty.
All right. That's it for the Hulkster. Last one here.
Peter in Cleveland.
This one hits close to home, man. Manuel Clase, guy who you guys talked about last week won. You know, at this point, hey, you give us Painter, we throw you Clase, we call it even. But Manuel Clase is on paid leave right now while the MLB is investigating him for involvement in betting. Now,
not looking good, Cottrell. Not looking good.
The details of everything is still a little murky there. But
of course,
they're not that murky.
This is the second Cleveland pitcher that is under this same investigation here. Wanted to get your guys' thoughts and reactions to everything. Also, I am perfectly fine, and I guess I'll start here just with this tidbit of a comment. Perfectly fine with the MLB doing their investigation the way they're doing it. Like, ultimately, if he was betting on baseball, you feed him to the wolves, and whatever happens, happens. Or if he was, throwing pitches that were bad for other people to cash in, whatever happens, happens with him. Like, I am fully behind that. But as a Cleveland fan, I am so, like, it just blows my mind that I feel like the Shohei Ohtani, like when the stuff was going on with him and his interpreter, it was over in like 3 days. Like, they looked at it, they're like, nah, Shohei, he didn't do anything. He's good. We'll throw him back in there. He's a superstar. He's good to go. But like,
well, it's different.
I get it. It's different. But investigations are investigations. Like, that part is the same. Of what's going on, is it different? Yeah. But the whole like Luis Ortiz, like the first Cleveland pitcher who got put up and they're looking into him for betting, like that is still an ongoing thing. Like, that was more than 30 days ago. Like, and they're still looking into that. They don't have anything definitively, like, and it does look bad. Like, I think he's going to get suspended and probably never pitch again. But they're still looking into that. As far as like the Ohtani thing, like for me, it just felt like I blinked and it was like, nope, his interpreter did it. Ohtani's back on the field. We're good to go.
Well, it's the reason it's totally different is because Clase and who's the other moron from the Guardians?
Luis Ortiz.
Those two are actually affecting the game with their pitches. So with Clase, it's even worse than the other guy, Luis Ortiz. With Clase, it's 22 pitches and 0-0 counts that were nowhere near the strike zone, and large lump sums of money bet on a ball being thrown. 21 of them were balls. One, I don't know how.
One was a swing. It was swing.
I don't know how he registers a swing, but 22 pitches on 0-0 counts nowhere near the strike zone is not good. That's not very good. With Shohei, it was just illegal gambling. It was gambling as far as making bets, this, and that, but it wasn't off like his own betting on Shohei or on a game that he can affect. With these two, they're affecting the game of baseball. It's a huge difference.
So you're right, but my thing is that if Shohei was found guilty to be a part of that, we never see Shohei play baseball again. Like that, 100%. That doesn't happen. And like, that's the same thing. And yes, it is different. Like, you're right there, but the premise is still the same. Like, I feel like if we're talking about a superstar, a guy who may go down as one of the best, if not the best hitter of all time, never playing a game of baseball again, and you're telling me the investigation was over in what felt like 2 to 3 days.
That wasn't 2 to 3 days.
I said what it felt like. What it felt like. It felt like it was like, oh, Otani's involved in this thing here, and then
That
it was
the lead
like
story for 2.5 weeks. Just to be
you
clear.
go to sleep, you wake up, and his interpreter is the guy now. So I'm just saying the investigations take long.
I think it was always the interpreter was the guy, and they were worried. They were seeing if they can pin Shohei to the interpreter, but
Shohei was never getting pinned to that conversation ever. They were not going to let it happen. They weren't going to let it happen.
I don't disagree with you, but there's no proof.
Could not afford it. We don't know what the proof is. Nobody saw it.
It's his money.
But it's his money. Nobody. I don't care how rich you are. Like unless you're on like Jeff Bezos level where you're making billions of dollars a day,
you don't notice.
Nobody is not noticing $20 million gone on sports bets. Nobody. Sure. Sorry, don't buy it. Sorry, don't buy it.
I think it was $9 million.
No, it was more than 9. It was way more than 9. Listen, but to Cottrell's point, like you said, this was like 2.5 weeks, and then we just kind of woke up. And it was the agent, and now he's pleading guilty. Instead of getting like 30 years like he was supposed to, he's getting like 5, and he's going to get out. And I'm sure Shohei already dumped a huge lump sum of money somewhere in some bank account for him for taking the fall. This is Ray Lewis all over again. That's what this is. These two, now Ortiz, to me, Ortiz to some degree is a little bit worse. Only because Clase coming out of the bullpen, throwing as hard as he can. I mean, closers get erratic. But if you watch the video, I mean, there's a couple pitches he throws. They're 45-foot pitches. It's not good. And if these guys really are in it and they're connected to these bettors somehow, which is what they're going to have to prove, which is probably what's taking so long, you're going to have to come up with some kind of communication because, again, they're not betting on themselves. It got, all these flags got raised because every time Clase came in, there's this group of people that are hammering first pitch ball and costing these sports books hundreds of thousands of dollars every time. So if they can make that connection, then, yeah, they're both screwed. They're never going to play. They're never going to play again. So it'll be really interesting to see what comes out in the long run of this. But to Cottrell's point, Ortiz one, they said it's been going on for months. So and now Clase is included. So I don't know how long they've been in on him. It's just the sports betting thing is such it's such a double-sided argument. It's hard to turn down the revenue and it's hard to turn down the tax money for all these states and everything. But to think at some point, some way, these athletes were never going to get involved in it. And I know they have so many, fail stops and barriers up and rules to keep them out of it. But we still see it every year. The last couple of years, we've seen how many NFL players get caught, not even betting on football, but just betting in general. We have this now.
Different, though. This is where I disagree with you, Shao. This is different. These are guys affecting the game that they're on. They're not betting on a game to win. They're affecting a bet.
I get it. My point is we've already had the scandal with the NBA back in the day with refs.
Yeah.
There's too much money at stake to not think, to your point, that this wasn't going to make its way into the actual game sooner or later. We've had all the scandals in college basketball before about kids shaving points. And now you're again, you're doing same game, in-game, live betting. It's not hard for him to, if he's involved, it's not hard for him to come out of the bullpen and be like, I'm just going to throw this first pitch in the dirt. These guys are professionals. So again, to not think that this eventually wasn't going to seep into these sports somehow, I think it's just a little short-sighted. But
I don't know how stupid they are. And let me explain to you what I mean by how stupid they are, right? Did you guys see the statistics? What the average amount of money that's bet on a zero, like a ball or a strike? Did you guys see this?
I haven't. No.
That's so insane, right? So any given ball, first pitch for a pitcher, ball or strike, total bets on a sports book is normally less than $5,000. It's very low amount. There's sometimes where someone bets a whale bets a first pitch strike or ball, win or lose. There's like hundreds of thousands of dollars being bet on first pitch ball. Like, red flag. We're used to about $5,000. Here's $140,000 on first pitch ball. What? Like it's so absurd, the difference in money that is bet.
So to the point that, I mean, I think, again, I think it looks bad for sure. But on the flip side of it, though, is that if you notice that, and even I watch the Guardians a lot. Like me and Audio watch probably, 3 or 4 games a week. I'd never even picked up on, and granted it was, 22 times where this had occurred or whatever. But like I never even picked up on the fact that it felt like every pitch was a ball. Like for me, it was like Clase last year was a guy who was in the Cy Young discussions, and I never thought that he would, get back to that form. And he was okay. He started off rocky this year, and he's been like definitely progressing forward there. But like, I guess if you're picking up on trends, though, at the same time, it's like, all right, this happened like 10 times. They're like, I don't know how many times this was bet. Obviously, there's 22 instances where we've seen it happen. I don't know how many times this was actually bet on. But to Bill's point, you're coming out the bullpen. If you just notice that, hey, Clase stinks his first 2-3 pitches or whatever, and you see that, and it's like every game, because like after pitch 4 or 5, like I'm not saying I'm putting up that kind of money, but if you just keep hitting on it, like why wouldn't you keep betting on it? You know what I mean?
See, here's the problem. You will have people that are sharks that will notice that stuff. And then like we went over this, like a month or so ago with like the whole Discord bets and all that stuff. That stuff will happen. But then it's defining and differentiating between those people that are just noticing trends versus, like Gene said, 4th game of the year.
Yeah,
you got people betting $100,000
just coming.
Yeah, correct. So that is, and that's going to be part of the investigation. You have to differentiate between those people that might be connected to him somehow or involved in this versus the people that are just good bettors, like you said, that watch every Cleveland game, be like, yo, he sucks this year just for fun. Like, I'm going to bet $500 that the first pitch is a ball every time he comes in, because it seems like every time I watch him, he comes in and throws his first ball in the dirt. So it's like, it's a bigger example of like those guys that were betting on Angel Reese missing her first shot every game. You know what I mean? There's no inside thing there. It's just, she misses her first shot of the game a lot. So it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting if when the report actually comes out and they could tie either one of these guys to some group of bettors, I mean, again, the only reason you would do it would be for money. So, but I'm sure there's also a group of people that are just Cleveland fans and they're like, he stinks this year. And I bet his first pitch to be a ball because it seems like he does. Like you said, it seems like every time I turn the TV on, his first pitch is a ball. So, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I don't say fun, but
I was just going to say, I know we're not talking about Ortiz here, but I think Ortiz's situation is a little bit different because of the timing of when it happens. Clase is always coming in the game in 9th inning, 10th inning, maybe 8th inning, depending on what's going on in the game. With Ortiz, like the number of first pitch balls, it wasn't just the first inning. Like it wasn't just starting the game. It would be like the start of the 3rd inning, start of the 4th inning, the start of the 2nd inning. So like, I think that's a little bit more damning as opposed to a guy with Clase. And of course, the MLB investigation will ultimately, find what they find there regarding that. But I think it's a lot different when you have a guy consistently coming in the 9th, and it may just be his first pitch. He has trouble finding it. As opposed to Ortiz. I'm hoping for good things there. Obviously, with this news, I know we're about to get right into baseball here as well, but this came out and the Guardians have quickly turned from potential buyers to sounding like they're going to be without a doubt sellers, whether it be Steven Kwan, you guys mentioned earlier, Shane Bieber potentially getting traded there as well. I don't know as far as what maybe some team tries to go crazy and buy low on Clase, just knowing that, who knows? Like there's an unknown factor there. But I think that'll be the interesting part here. He's got 30 days. Like, I don't even think he's eligible to potentially come back until the end of August there. So this will be very interesting to see how it plays out.
We'll see how everything plays out. It'll be hard for me to believe that there will be anything other than guilty. How much money? Just guilty.
I mean, like I said, they're gonna have to connect the money. If they can't connect the money, it's gonna be a tough sell for anybody.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we got a little MLB action, and before we came on air, the Philadelphia Phillies made a trade, and then the Mets just responded with another one. The Mets have just acquired, this is breaking news for those at home, Ryan Helsley, the closer for the Cardinals. The Philadelphia Phillies get the Twins closer. The Mets earlier made a move too. It looks like it's going to be an arms race in the NL East. They went and got Rogers from the Giants for a prospect haul. Tyler Rogers coming over. So the Mets have seriously improved their bullpen. The Phillies got one guy, probably still need another, but we'll see how that plays out. But there's been some fun trade deadline moves so far, but not much. It's been pretty quiet. You can see what's going to happen now, but I thought one of the funniest ones to talk about, and this is an ex-Philly, talked about this morning, was yesterday in the middle of a doubleheader. Sir Anthony Dominguez was traded from one team to the other that was playing each other and pitched in the second game of the doubleheader against the team he was traded from. I've never seen that before. Like, he was in one bullpen in game one. The Blue Jays got lit up. They're going through their bullpen. The Blue Jays are like, we need a guy. We're running out of arms here. Can you give us Sir Anthony? And he walked down the hallway and pitched the eighth inning. Have you ever seen that before?
Not a doubleheader, but if you do remember in Moneyball, Carlos. Yeah, you know what I mean. They got I can't remember. They were playing them in a series, and they traded for them, and you had to switch locker rooms to get dressed. So it's happened in the past. It's not very common, but in between doubleheader games is pretty funny.
I think you're talking about Ricardo Rincon, right? Yeah,
Rincon. Yeah. So it's happened, but in between the doubleheader, go back in the clubhouse and they get called and be like, "Yeah, you gotta go back across the hall." Like that's pretty funny.
Never seen that before.
It was wild too, because in that game, like the first game at least, like the game you're talking about with them getting lit up. I forgot who the Orioles backup catcher. Did you guys see got struck out 35-mile-per-hour pitch? It's like Blue Jays position player, like struck him out. Like literally, ball was just lofting in the air. He was trying to send the ball out of the stadium. That was like that was probably one of the slowest pitches I've ever seen. 35 is, I mean, you see kids throw harder than that, and obviously it wasn't a pitch for power or anything like that. Like they were playing positional guys there. They were losing by 12 or 13 or whatever it was at that point. But just a weird day in that Orioles Blue Jays game.
It was definitely different. It's interesting. I thought that'd be a fun topic to start with the trade deadline, because I've just never seen that. But speaking of the Phillies bullpen, they were just down 3-2 to the White Sox, and then they decided to give up four more runs in the seventh inning to lose to the White Sox again. One of the worst teams in baseball because we don't have a bullpen. So
they've been hot.
Max Lazar comes in 1/3 of an inning, 5 earned runs. Thanks a lot. Thanks for showing up, Max. Appreciate you, brother. Clown. 5 hits, 4 earned runs. Sorry. Joke. Danny Jansen last year played for the Red Sox one night, then in a rescheduled game he had to play for the Blue Jays. It's a good one.
I will say this deadline has definitely not been what I thought it would be. Obviously, we still have another day for it to complete here, but Suarez still not being moved yet. I know he got hit by a pitch, and teams may be worried about the hand or whatever. Even though everything came back negative, like curious to see what teams do regarding him.
Their asking price is very high for him for a rental. I
get it, man. I do think he's a guy that can
down a little bit as well.
Like, he's a guy that could change your course. He could be the difference in you going to a championship or not. So
I just think you realistically have to be one guy away if you're going to give all that up for him for 2 months. So it's, I don't know who you could really say is one guy away. But I think tomorrow, again, I still think a lot of people are going to get traded. I think this whole Cleveland thing is nuts because I think if both those things don't happen, I think they're probably buyers after the run they've gone on to get back into the race. Now, like you said, Kwan's name has come back up a ton again. And like you said, Bieber's name came up out of nowhere the last 2 days about possibly moving him. So it's going to be I think tomorrow, I think there will be now that it's down to the end, if teams are going to make moves, they either got to, pony up and come up with serious offers, or if these teams are selling, realize, you can't hold some of these guys for a king's ransom. And if you really want to move them, you got to move them. So I think tomorrow morning, early afternoon will be, I think it'll be a lot to go over.
The Orioles have more guys to sell. I hear you. I do want to. I think the Diamondbacks overplayed their hand, if I'm being honest with you, with Eugenio Suarez, and the Yankees just gave up and they went and got Ryan McMahon. And I think that Eugenio might end up still staying on Arizona, which is their best opportunity to sell, and they overplayed their hand. Now there's not as many teams that need a third baseman. The Yankees desperately need a third baseman. The Rockies are like, we'll help. We have no problem. We got a guy.
We suck.
Well, it was definitely who was the first one that got traded? The first third baseman.
I thought that would be Ryan McMahon.
No, somebody got moved before Suarez, because when that happened, it was like, because we were sitting there on the bleachers talking about it, and then after it happened, it was like, now Suarez is definitely going to go to the Yankees. Did Seattle get somebody? I'll have to go back and look now.
I don't know.
Seattle did get somebody, but was he a third baseman though? They got a bat. They definitely got a bat in their lineup.
Seattle got Josh Naylor, who's a first baseman.
Yeah,
maybe it wasn't him.
But their deal of the deadline was Ryan McMahon going to the Yankees, third baseman. So I don't know who the other person that we're talking about would be, but I know
the third baseman that I know that got moved was
Brian Hayes.
Yeah, Pittsburgh guy.
He just got moved to the Reds.
Yeah,
but we'll see. I think that the Duran and Helsley move are the two biggest moves of today. Two of the bigger moves at the deadline. Two NL East teams 100% bringing in, relief help. The Phillies need a center fielder, and the Phillies have great starting pitching. They need relief pitching, and they need guys that can get on base. And they are, you look at the Phillies, and I'm not kidding when I tell you this. The top of their lineup's fine, 290, 254, 267, 266. And then you go down to Marsh, 258, 238, 230, 220. It gets very ugly, the back half of that lineup.
Gene, what if I said I know a guy that you can bring into the outfield that's actually been hitting well? Not Stephen Kwan, but he is playing in Cleveland right now.
Who are we talking about?
Your boy Moniak.
Oh, Mickey Moniak. Oh, God.
Knock it off.
He's batting I want to say he's batting 260 or 270. He's not playing bad. And he's in Colorado, so, probably can get him for cheap. Bring him home.
Still one of the worst number one picks ever.
Everybody loves a redemption story.
It ain't gonna be in Philly.
Stephen Kwan picked a bad night to go for 3. He's gonna stay on that roster.
Yeah, Kwan, you got I think there's a blockbuster coming. I really do. That nobody, I think, is kind of thinking of. I think there's going to be a huge trade tomorrow.
Dylan Cease?
I don't think. I mean, that's been out there so much. They have to. They're just trying to shed money there because of how much money they're paying him.
I get it, but
Devers was moved a little while ago. Is that what you're referring to, Rafael Devers?
No, I don't know what the hell we were talking about. I just remember like it's set, like it got said, and I was like, it makes even more sense that Suarez is just going to end up on the Yankees now.
I think that what we were talking about was Jazz moving to second base because they didn't have a spot. Like he was not doing well at third base, and they moved him over to second. And they're like, well, now there's a bigger hole at third base for the Yankees. That's what I thought we were talking about, but
it might have still been Naylor, not just positional wise, but like bat. Like with Seattle getting that, they were obviously going to be out on Suarez. It's probably that.
I mean, I think it's interesting too that Sandy just had another, as bad of a year that he's been having, just had another great outing. And I think people are going to look at that and be like, all right, you know what? I need a starting pitcher. He was already named that we have been talking about a ton. Like, I think somebody goes out and they say, hey, if he can come in and be our number 2 or number 3 for this year and then be our ace moving forward there, then we'll give up the haul and, make a run at him. So I definitely still think Sandy is going to be on the move, and I think he's going to definitely help a contender.
It'll be interesting to see how any other guys you think get moved. Any predictions for anybody else in the next 16, 18 hours?
Suarez, like I said, becomes interesting because, like you said, I don't know anybody who's out there that is a contention that desperately needs a third baseman now. I think Baltimore ultimately at least moves one of the two of either Mullins or the first base kid. I can't think of his name. I think one of those gets moved. O'Neal Cruz's name came up out of nowhere, which was kind of crazy. I don't know what Pittsburgh's doing there because all signs indicate that they're trying to hold on to their top 3 pitchers. I mean, Skeens obviously isn't on the block, but between Keller and Barr, they want to keep both of them. But then they made a trade today that's kind of head scratching. So we'll see. Like I said, I would be shocked if Quan doesn't get moved now because I think Cleveland lost a lot of leverage with what's going on with the pitchers. And if they're going to move them, I think somebody's going to call and make the right deal to get it done. And he's under contract, I think through 27 or 28. I can't remember which one it is. So that's a big piece. I mean, that's a guy that's just going to get hits and get on base. And then you'll probably have a bunch of relievers that move because, like you said, I mean, there's so many teams that, if you can upgrade even the littlest bit in the bullpen and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, you got to do it. So those guys always start getting traded and moved around this time of year. So it'll be a fun paced, fast paced day tomorrow, I would think. I think it'll probably start pretty early.
I don't know what type of snake oil sales the Philadelphia Phillies were doing, but if you were going to pick 2 prospects in the Phillies organization to give up for one of the best closers in baseball, those have been the exact 2 I would have picked. You have an 18-year-old catcher in Eduardo Tate, who, single A, he's 18, whatever. And then Mick Abel, who throws the straightest fastball of all time.
I mean, Mick Abel still has a lot of high upside. He has good stuff. I mean, it's a matter if he's going to figure out how to pitch. But, I mean, there's a lot of high-end potential there. And the catcher was our 5th-ranked prospect. So, yeah, as an 18-year-old catcher, that could go 8 million different ways.
Right.
If he pans out, then it's, it's a good trade. I mean, I look at it this way, man. I am on the side, unless it's somebody that I think is the potential to either be generational or at least an absolute, centerpiece to building a team. I trade prospects for stars in baseball all day. What a kid. I don't think people realize the difference between AA and Major League Baseball. I don't care if you hit 280 in AA. It doesn't mean you're going to hit 280 in the major leagues.
Yeah.
And everybody, it was funny because everybody was posting, the Carla or the Cliff Lee trade today, and how everybody, all those guys were untouchable, and not one of them ended up being anywhere near successful as Cliff Lee. Not any.
Sixto didn't ever turned out to be what we thought he'd be, even in Florida.
I
remember when Carrasco was untouchable. Carrasco didn't turn out to what we thought he would be. But the two guys in the Phillies organization that I just have very high, thoughts for are Andrew Painter and Aiden Miller. Other than those two, I don't care. I'm not as high on Crawford as most people are. His exit velo on his ball has never been good. He gets on base, yes. But it's just positional. When you getting on base at the level he's getting on, just isn't the same as Major League Baseball. And I think when you're not barreling the ball at the AA and AAA level, you're not going to barrel the ball in the Major League level.
I agree. I mean, his power numbers have gone down. His ground ball rate has gone up between each promotion.
Yeah.
And again, to your point, that is a trend that will continue into the major leagues. He doesn't go hard. He's never going to be an elite barrel guy. He's not going to be in that 100 plus every at bat. That's just not what he is. Very fast, very talented. I'm just not. That team is in a win now mode. By the time he comes up, and even if he becomes a good pro, they're going to be the back end of that window with a bunch of bad contracts. So he's not somebody I'm glued to.
Any Phillies prospects that you're untouchable to you? For me, you'd have to give me a ton for Aiden Miller, and Andrew Painter's not moving off my roster.
Painter is the one guy for me. He has generational stuff. He's already gone through the Tommy John thing. He's back in the high 90s consistently. He used to figure out the finer point of things, but he is a if he continues to progress the way he is a no doubt number one pitcher in Major League Baseball. So that is he's the only one for me. Aiden Miller again, I'm not giving Aiden Miller away. I like Aiden Miller, but if we're talking about Stephen Kwan, see you. If I'm getting a known all-star commodity that I have control of for the next 3 years that I know is going to hit 315, get on base all the time, and has done it over and over and over and proven at the major league level, I will take that over potential all day.
Okay. I'm not giving up Aiden Miller.
288.
I'm not. Stephen Kwan's good, but I'm not giving up Aiden Miller for Stephen Kwan.
He solves two problems that we have, so.
He does. Center field and gets on base.
Yep.
I get it. He's very good defensively, too.
Gold Glove winner.
Any other MLB talk before we move on?
So I did want to – I see John Suggs comment here. Says Braves might trade Ozuna. He's in the last year of his contract, and that's a team that's hurting on pitchers. I feel like there is an outside chance the Braves make a trade, but Ozuna wasn't the name that I thought of. Like, I feel like I could see Matt Olson getting moved somewhere. And if you – like with the Braves, like I feel like they're always not – I shouldn't say always, but you give them the right prospects and they feel like, all right, we can pair these with all these guys, kind of get younger, go there. Not saying Olson's old, but I feel like that could be a player who a couple weeks ago they were asking him about the Braves, the team and everything about like, oh, are the Braves going to be sellers? And his big thing was like, we're coming in here, we're competing every day. So I think clearly he wants to win. And is this a down year for the Braves? I think so. I think they're too talented not to be good in the future there. But, maybe behind closed doors, he's like, get me to a winner. Like, this isn't working.
Bro, the thing with Acuna is wild. You got to sit him out for a long time. He's got that same calf strain that Tyrese Halliburton had.
He's done for the year.
Yeah.
They're done. So, I mean, it's a matter now of again, Ozuna is a different situation because I believe his contract's up. He's going to be kind of like a hired bat. They're not going to bring him back with other prospects they have. I would be shocked if they got rid of Matt Olson. You also remember Matt Olson's the reason they let go of Freddie Freeman. So he is young. He puts up big numbers. You got him and Austin Riley on the corners that you're building around that are both young guys. I don't think they move them. I think they become more sellers now and probably stock up because, again, I think Acuna's injury is kind of the final nail in the coffin. You see the Mets and you see the Phillies making moves. You're not going to catch them. You're just not. You're not, maybe if one of those teams falls apart, maybe they're not both going to fall apart. You're not going to make the playoffs this year. So again, if you can get rid of some of those bullpen pieces that are expiring contracts, get a couple prospects, and then get ready for next year. That's what Atlanta does really well. You can say
Atlanta's not catching anybody. There's 16 games back.
That's what I'm saying. So, the one thing they do, they make very smart decisions. They are going to shut Ronald Acuna down. If he plays baseball again this year, I would be shocked.
It's a mistake.
And I think it's a lot worse than they're saying. He was in tears in his press conference yesterday. He's had a rough 2 years. He really has. I mean, in that kid's defense. You just at some point you have to know when to throw up the hands and throw up the white towel and just say no mas and let's see what we can do and get ready for next year and let these guys just go out and play stress free and and try to bolster the roster for next year. Azuña is not going to be there either way. You got to get Acuna healthy, and then you have all those other big names on there already. So we'll see what Atlanta does. But I would be shocked if Atlanta doesn't make a couple trades tomorrow. They're very strategic in what they do.
See, this should have been on a hot wire. A real legend passed away, Ryan Sandberg. So rest in peace, Ryan Sandberg.
Yeah, and all around from every inclination from anybody that ever talks about him. An amazing human being. A lot of people forget he was actually a Philly. Phillies drafted him. And he was a manager here for a while. So great guy. Debatably, he's a top 3 or 4 second baseman of all time. Great guy, great father, great husband. So that one, to Gene's point, is actually sad.
All right. Trivia time.
Gentlemen, in the spirit of baseball, going back to baseball here. And I do have a tiebreaker question.
Love it.
As well here for you guys. I do think you have a great opportunity to get all of these. Right now, there are 12 active pitchers that have won the Cy Young.
Okay.
Christ.
Let's name them.
That's not that hard, Chow.
No, I mean, there's obviously some of the low hanging fruit per se. I think once we get towards the bottom, it's going to be a little bit harder. Am I first? I'm first. Justin Verlander.
Justin Verlander is correct, of course.
I'll take Kershaw. He's still active.
Kershaw is correct.
I'll take Chris Sale.
Chris Sale is correct.
Mad Max is still active. Max Scherzer.
Mad Max is correct. Got 4 quick ones.
I'll take Jacob DeGrom.
Jacob DeGrom is another quick one.
Now I'm starting to.
Yeah, say.
Now Skubal won last year.
Skubal is correct.
Asshole.
Sorry.
See, this first starts getting dicey. That's 6, right?
That is 6.
When I saw her face.
Blake Snell.
Blake Snell is correct.
Guy that might get moved this trade deadline.
Ooh.
Sandy Alcantara.
Sandy is correct. Got 8 quick ones. Great job, guys. Got 4 more.
I have one more.
don't think I do.
I have one more. I accidentally, never mind. He's gonna shot call, baby.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds here, buddy.
I can't remember if he won one in Chicago or not. I looked Dylan Cease.
Dylan Cease is strike one for you, Bill.
When I saw her face, I'm a believer. Shane Bieber.
Shane Bieber is correct. 5-4 Gene.
Saw her face. That's all I have. I'm done.
I might not get another one.
I don't know anymore. Oh, let me think.
I gotta go over teams.
I gotta slow down on my answers because I gave you more time to think. That's the thing.
And I'm about to get the shot clock back rolling here.
Oh,
10 seconds.
Yeah, he's on one. Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole is correct. 5-5.
I don't have any more.
Well, you got 30 seconds to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I don't have any more. Wait, hold on.
Okay. I'm holding.
We're waiting.
And we got 10 seconds here, Gene.
Who won last year's National League Cy Young?
I already said it.
Oh. Who was it?
Chris Sale.
Oh, yeah. Over Wheeler. God damn it.
Because of that conversation, I'll give you another 10 seconds here.
I'll take it.
I don't know if you're stalling on purpose or not, but
no,
I'll give it to you.
Really thinking. Shit. Who else?
All right, I need an answer.
I'm gonna go with the guy. Can I go with the guy?
The guy? Guy's not on the list.
Guy Fieri.
Bill?
I really think I'm out.
See, these are probably like the obscure ones that like they got to be active.
Man.
I don't think Glass now won one.
10 seconds, buddy.
I don't know.
No guess. You're passing.
I'm blank. I'm going through teams right now. Just so I can come up with one for next turn.
All right. Well, Gene, you're back up.
Dude, I was trying to get a hint. I was hoping you'd give a hint.
Oh. No, it's too late now. Yeah, you gotta wait till we get back to the top.
I'm going through teams right now. Verlander.
The hint, I can't give you teams because the teams will make it too easy. So figuring out a hint here. I got some numbers.
No. I'm just
right,
going through teams.
Give you 10 seconds, 10 more seconds here.
Okay.
You got to have
Aaron Nola. I know he didn't win. I just want to throw. I'm.
You ready for the hints now? Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, I guess yes.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, teams would be too easy. So I'm going to give you the numbers that I have here that you should be able to narrow it down a little bit more.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of go back to another hint soon. First guy here. I would say he is the better of the. Actually, I know he's the better of the two. He's pitched in 210 career games. He is 63-38 as a starting pitcher. Kind of give you an idea of how long he's played. other
You
guy.
said 63 and 38?
Yeah.
Correct. 63 and
How many?
38. The other pitcher has pitched in 255 games, and he's 86 and 78.
I don't know if that helps me at all.
It doesn't help me.
And okay, all right, I'll give you one more then. And they are both in the National League.
Okay. At least it rules out because I'm going through division, so at least rules out.
There's nobody left in the East. I'm just saying it out loud. I know there's not.
So give you some time.
Oh.
Sounds like you guys are both brewing something. Bill, you got 10 seconds.
Oh, wait. This is embarrassing when you get this. If it's got to be right. I'm pretty sure he won one. I'm going Corbin Burns.
Corbin Burns is correct. He is one of the two.
Logan Webb.
Oh, is that it? That's a good one.
Logan Webb is incorrect. Bill, you got a chance to win it with this one.
I don't think Kelly or Gallen won one. Who the hell else is on these staffs? Cease, we got Blake still. You Darvish won one? You Darvish.
You Darvish is incorrect.
Fuck.
Blake Snell.
I already said that.
Blake Snell's already been said.
Um,
And it was the correct answer the first time.
well, I should
Damn.
get another correct one. I think it's 6.
You're gonna be sassy.
Come on, Gene. I need you to get this. I got a good backup question here.
I don't have it.
You got nothing?
No.
I think this guy
Really?
won a Cy Young in the other league, though.
I'm done.
So another guy could be.
Who?
I think. We'll go Robbie Ray.
Robbie Ray is correct.
He won it with Toronto.
That he did. That is all 12.
Well, good job. I gave up. Robbie Ray and Corbin Burns. Great. Just check the chat. I got to cheat. All right. Well, we're done. NFL. Someone want to explain how we're doing these lists?
You gonna do the list first, or we're gonna go through the other stuff first?
Yeah, you call it out. I'll follow you.
I'm asking.
I don't care. I'm a sore loser, bro. As soon as I lose, you have to transition. If I lose, it has to be the transition.
It's the turning point of the show every week. If he wins, the second hour goes great. If not, Gene's like, I don't care what we talk about, whatever.
All right. So just because we missed it last week, and we already have the list already kind of up there from it. Let's talk about the 5 teams under the most pressure this upcoming season.
That's easy.
5 teams?
Yeah, we did this list last week.
The coaches.
Yeah, we did coaches.
Coaches.
No, we were trying to do both, but
I know.
We ran out of time.
I think we should have had the.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yep. All right, who's going first?
Gene can go first. He needs a win.
So number 5 for me is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they're under huge pressure to win because you've just paid Sunshine all that money. You have another new coach, your third new coach he's playing under. The Jaguars have to be competitive. If they're 9-8 and they look better this year, that's fine. But they're under pressure to be performing. So the Jaguars number 5 for me.
So
number 4 is the Arizona Cardinals. Third year now. Marvin Harrison Jr. looked bad. Kyler Murray's in the middle of his contract. Like, he's not looked great. There's just a lot of things. Jonathan Gannon might have to go. There's just a lot of situations that happen in Arizona where they can't keep finishing at the bottom. You have an overpaid quarterback. You have a wide receiver you took top 10. You cannot be this bad. The Arizona Cardinals are my number 4. My number 3 is the San Francisco 49ers. Just paid Purdy. You lost Deebo Samuel. Ayuk's coming off injury. Christian McCaffrey's there. Big Trent's there getting a lot of money. George Kittle, Fred Warner. You got a lot of guys on that team. They're under a lot of pressure. They have the easiest schedule in football this year. Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, all those guys have to be under pressure to win. Now, my top 2 teams are AFC North teams. That's it. That's the AFC North. Number 2, I'll put the Cincinnati Bengals. Zach Taylor is coaching for his job. Joe Burrow, in the situation that he's at, where if you watch quarterback, it is just so tough to watch. Like that they lost 44-38 to the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers could put up 44 points versus anybody, but they did versus the Bengals. They lost 38-35 to the Ravens. They lost 36-35 to the Ravens. Like this, I think they're one of the only teams in NFL history that put up 35 plus points in 5 games and lost more games than they've won. So the Bengals as a whole are under a tremendous amount of pressure to get back to the playoffs at minimum but the team that's under the most pressure this year, I don't really think this is that hard, is the Baltimore Ravens. It's excuses. I don't know what the excuse is going to be this year. 3 years ago, it was the offensive coordinator. They changed the offensive coordinator. Then it was they had no wide receivers. They drafted a wide receiver in the first round in Zay Flowers. Then it was, the secondary. They just trade for Jair Alexander. They are loaded with talent. They have Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Jair Alexander, Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith. The team's got to get over the hump. They cannot consistently keep losing to Kansas City or even Buffalo. So that's my top 5 this year. And
I'll go. I did not have Baltimore made the top of your list, but I don't dislike it.
The excuse this year will be Todd Monken. You're correct. They blamed him last year.
Number 5 for me. I'm going to start with the Cincinnati Bengals. And the only reason they're 5 for me, I don't disagree with anything Gene said, not one lick of it. My question would turn around would be, Gene named all the pertinent stats of losing all those games, and what did they do this offseason? They spent all their money on offense. I do agree that Zach Taylor's coaching for his job, but I will also say that team is not being managed well from the front office up in the ownership. If you're giving up 35 points a game and you have a generational quarterback on your team and you're losing, he's putting up 35 and you're giving up 38 and you don't address the defense whatsoever, that's a problem for me. Go ahead, sir.
Breaking news, and this is serious breaking news. Shohei Ohtani has just left the game after throwing 4 bad pitches with the trainer. All signs are pointing towards his shoulder might be blown out. I just wanted.
There we go.
Shohei Ohtani has just left the game. Wild pitch, walk. Trainer came out and took him out of the game.
Let's see who had money on first pitch ball.
Get him, Contrell. Get him. Love it. Clip that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. That's funny. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Shal, but I just got the news.
So number 5 for me, I have the Bengals. Number 4 for me, I have the same team that Gene started his list with, Jacksonville Jaguars. And again, I don't like agreeing with Gene too often, but I agree with everything he said. I don't think they have to make a deep run per se, but if you're saying Trevor Lawrence was his generational guy, we are on his 3rd coach. They have to look better. Brian Clark is turning into a star. You went out and got Travis Hunter. you have to see progress. Like Gene said, I think if they're 9-8, they're in it at least to the last week or something like that, I think you're fine. But I think 2 years ago when he went to Kansas City and arguably probably should have won that game to what he regressed back to last year, I don't think we can see that again. They have to at least go forward. So they're number 4 for me. Number 3 for me, I have the Indianapolis Colts. I think they've made a mess of things. I think Shane Steichen has kind of had his hands tied a little bit with the Anthony Richardson draft pick, which I really don't think he wanted. They've now brought in Daniel Jones, who I think by the end of training camp is probably going to be your starting quarterback. I don't know how that goes. There is a huge pocket of people that think Daniel Jones is better than what he showed in New York, playing on all those bad teams. I'm not one of them. But that team, I think, again, I don't think they have to make some deep run, but they cannot be the laughing stock of what they were last year. They have too many big contracts on the team, too many really good players. They have to be better. Who do I have number two? Oh, I'm going with a different direction out of the North. I'm going with the Steelers. We talked about it a little bit last week with coaches. I think it would have to be a disastrous year for Tomlin still to get fired. But again, you go out and get DK Metcalf. You bring in Aaron Rodgers, which however you want to slice it should be an upgrade at the quarterback position. But I think overall that fan base is growing very restless, very quick. Brought in Jalen Ramsey, obviously. To me, this all points to they're gearing up to like this year has to be, a good year. If not, if it is disastrous, maybe it is the end of the Mike Tomlin era. So I have Pittsburgh number 2. Number 1, I have the same team that G mentioned as well, San Francisco. They've been good too long. I feel like they're in the same boat as Baltimore. They just can't get over the hump. They signed all those guys to contracts, like Gene said, Taylor, Ward, Kittle, Purdy, they're all there. Ayuk. They got to start winning because if they don't, that whole era of players is going to end up being a failure. So, and that falls on Kyle Shanahan as well. So for me, I think if San Francisco, Gene mentioned, they do have the easiest schedule percentage-wise, I believe. That is correct. Yes. They have to be in the thick of things. And I think it's already concerning that a lot of people aren't considering them even to be the favorite in that division this year. So, I think it's kind of a put up or shut up, or at some point, San Francisco in the near future is going to have to start probably tearing that team apart a little bit to start rebuilding.
So I'm starting off in a slightly different direction from you two. I'm going with the team that neither one of you mentioned. Number 1 for me, I'm rolling with the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are a team that have been very successful the past couple of years. 2 years ago, they were in the NFC Championship game. This past year, they made the playoffs, and they bowed out earlier than what everyone was anticipating. And I think this is a big year for Dan Campbell, 1. But 2, I also look at it very similar to how we looked at Nick Sirianni going into, last year, the year after they lost Super Bowl to the Chiefs, where you lose both of your coordinators. And yes, you are the head guy, and Dan is different than Nick in the sense of, he brings that personality, the grit mantra, like that came with Dan Campbell from his first press conference as being the head coach of that Detroit Lions football team. But I think at this stage, like as talented as that Lions team is now, which sounds crazy to say, the Detroit Lions being like a very talented team, but that's what they are. And I think they have legit Super Bowl aspirations, especially seeing that they've been so close in the past. You're getting Aiden back. All of your guys are getting a year older, a year better. Like Amon-Ra is a top 10 receiver in the league. Jamison Williams is going into year 3 and is looking more polished. Sam Laporta is a top 10 tight end in the NFL. And, you have stars on the defense, whether it be Branch or Hutchinson, like I mentioned there. I think the Lions are a team that has a lot of talent on their roster. But if they bow out early in the playoffs, or you see that that train isn't the same locomotive as they was when Ben Johnson was still in the building and when Aaron Glenn was in the building. I think you're going to have people looking at Dan Campbell a little sideways there. Number 4 for me, I have the San Francisco 49ers. I agree with both of you guys there. I think this is a huge year for Kyle Shanahan. You always hear about him being the guru, him being this, him being that. And I get it. Purdy was hurt last year. McCaffrey was hurt last year. Ayuk was out last year. Debo looked like a shell of himself last year. But at some point, you have to still win football games. Like both of you mentioned, you signed Purdy to this huge extension. You brought back Robert Saleh. You have a ton of talent still on the defensive side of the ball. I think you have to find a way to get back to the playoffs and have that 49ers team where they've been the last 4 or 5 years. So I think, the 49ers absolutely had to be on this list here. Number 3 for me, I'm rolling with the Pittsburgh Steelers for a lot of the reasons that Bill mentioned. You have too much talent on that team to not be, looking at it as like not even just Super Bowl or bust, but like not winning a playoff game in 9 years. Like that is just not the way the Steelers operate. And for Mike Tomlin, I just think it's getting very stagnant. And the fact that TJ Watt has never won a playoff game in his career, I think that's kind of damning there. And I think Mike Tomlin is a great coach. He's a top 5 coach in all of football. But at some point, you may have to go in a different direction and just light a new fire into that locker room. Like sometimes you need a new voice to get that fire back going. And if Pittsburgh is one and done in the playoffs again, or somehow, some way don't make the playoffs this year, I think that's a situation where that might happen. And, a lot of guys in the locker room may hate that because of how much they love Mike Tomlin, but they have to go out there and produce on the field. My number 2 team, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. I think this is the Zach Taylor, put up or shut up year as well. Joe Burrow can only do so much. Gene, you talked about them scoring 35, 38, 36, like all these high-scoring games. And I truly don't think the quarterback show has done Zach Taylor any favors.
No.
When you're going over talking to Joe Burrow, and he's the one that's pissed about the team not producing, although you're winning, like that's a culture thing. And I think you see that. And it would be one thing if Joe was going into, Mike Brown's office, the Bengals owner, and was like, hey, Zach's my guy. I know we haven't been winning, but like, that's my guy. Like, I feel like we can get there. Like, that's one thing. But I don't think Joe Burrow is going to pound the table for Zach Taylor. And so if Mike Brown's like, hey, I'm paying all these guys all this money, I hate spending money, and we're not winning, like, Zach's got to go. I got to find the right guy in here.
Bro.
I got to find the right guy in here to win me football games. So, and you're right. They are 100% a terrible organization, the way they operate and things like that. But number 1 for me, I have the same exact number 1 as who Gene did. It's the Baltimore Ravens. And the biggest reason is the team is loaded. You have the best defense probably in all of football. You 100% have the best secondary in all of football. You have Derrick Henry. You have Lamar Jackson. And I'm not as high as I get. They were first-round guys. I'm not as high on the receiving corps, but they are more than serviceable. You have Zay Flowers, who is a Pro Bowl receiver. You have Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, who are very good pass catchers. You have Bateman. You have Newt. Like, I think they can be a very good committee without a doubt in my mind. But you have to win. You're a team that has all the talent. You're going to be a top 2, top 3 seed every single year. At some point, you have to win. And I think you do run out of excuses if you're Baltimore. So for me, they have to be the number 1 team with the most pressure to win.
I'm about to stand up, bro. I'm fired up.
Oh, boy.
Using the floating table for once.
I was wondering, I'm like, is Gene
No. This is a standing table, and I bought this for this reason and this reason only. So hold on, switch this up right here.
This means Gene's about to get loud.
Oh yeah.
Why are we getting loud? What are we getting loud for?
We got some more stuff we're about to go over.
Okay.
I'm ready for this cornerbacks list.
All right.
We're doing safeties or corners first?
Hey, both. It doesn't matter.
Say both.
Start with both.
I'm ready to do this. Explain how we're doing it so the listeners can. By the way, let me get some of these comments in the chat. John Suggs said the Cowboys, Steelers, Giants, 49ers, Vikings. The Vikings have absolutely no pressure this year. Zero. The Giants, the only pressure is their coach. but I agree with the other three. The Cowboys definitely have pressure. Damian says the Lions, 49ers, Steelers, Cowboys, Ravens. I get it. The Buffalo Bills should be near that list too. The Vikings are not an honorable mention. My thoughts on the Rams are they'll finish second in division. But I just want to get some comments in. Shamar Stewart did sign.
Who you got finishing first?
Who?
I
And
think
the
49ers because of the schedule.
49ers. Oh, we're standing up, baby. We're ready.
All right, so Bill, this was your idea, Bill. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Who goes first? I think Cottrell should go second.
All right, so this is what we're going to do this year. The first 3 years we've done the show, we've kind of gone over our list, and last year we trimmed it down to the top 5. But we also realized, knowing the combined knowledge of the three of us plus everybody that watches the show, our top 5s were almost always the same. So we're talking about the same 5 guys over and over, right behind each other. We realized it gets a little tedious, slows down the show. So we want to try something new this year. So we're going to run these lists almost like a fantasy draft. So somebody will go first, and we'll just continue to go round robin. But it allows you to pick any person in any position that you want. So what I mean by that is, if Gene feels very strongly that, say, an Eagle, he wants to get an Eagle on the list, he doesn't have to start by putting the number 1 guy. Gene can simply go, I'm going to put so-and-so at number 10, give why he believes that, and then the next person goes. So it'll go round robin, and then at the end, we'll see what our list is. I still think the lists are going to be very good, but we're just going to try something different and see how it goes.
I like it. So whoever is number 1 for the safeties should not be number 1 for corners, because
correct. We'll rotate them. Correct.
Whoever has number 1 is going to be able to pick 4 players. So when we get the cornerbacks, that's the only one I want to lock in Cottrell at 2.
Why are you locking me in at 2?
I'll explain it when we get there. Can we do that? Can we lock him in at 2?
For what? For corners?
Trust me. Yes, for corners.
All right. Well, then, do you want 1 or 3 then for corners?
So I'll take 1.
All right. So I'm going 3 for corners then.
So that means Cottrell.
We're starting from 10 though, right? We're going up. We're not going down.
No, we're going down. We're going from 1 to 10.
No, you can put them anywhere you want them.
Oh, well, I thought it was a fantasy draft.
Oh, see that changes everything.
That's what makes it interesting, because we're not just going to again, because if not, our top 5 are probably all very close to the same. So again, it makes it, if you want a guy that really get on the list that you think is questionable, like I said, like if you wanted Cooper on the list and you don't think me and Cottrell.
By the way, we need to talk about that too. Cooper being number 60 on the top 100 is a joke.
So before we get there, I mean, I don't know what else you want the kid to do. But for instance, if you want him on the top 10 corner list and you don't think me or Cottrell have him, with your first pick, you could be like, I'm putting Cooper DeJean in the 9 slot. And then you'll talk about it.
Somebody's got to keep track of this then, bro. I didn't understand
I got it. I'll take care of it.
He's got it.
I got you. I'm locked.
All right. So I don't care where Cottrell goes for the cornerbacks list. The whole reason I was doing that was because I knew you wouldn't put Denzel Ward 2, so I was going to force you to have to put him 5. That's why I was doing that. That's exactly why I was doing that. All right, so then we're starting with safeties, right?
Yeah, so Cottrell can go first for safeties then.
All
right. So I'm gonna make this easy for you guys. I think this guy is the best safety in football. I'm going with number 1. I'm going with Kyle Hamilton.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to argue. I think it's a close number. What?
It's an easy pick.
It is. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna start off here and ease into this as well. I'll let Gene possibly have the first shot at it and make it a bold statement. He's bouncing around down there. Number 2, I will go with Xavier McKinney from the Green Bay Packers.
Okay, so I'm gonna bounce around because that's the only way to do this. It's
do
fun.
it.
Don't be. This is so. What you guys did was weak. Give me Kirby Joseph. Give me Kirby Joseph at number 7.
You know what's funny? Kirby Joseph is also my number 7. Funny enough.
He's close to that on mine.
Bounce him around. Let's go.
Back to you, Cottrell.
All right, we want to bounce him around. I'll bounce him around. Let's go to 6 then. Number 6, I got Jesse Bates. Hot
See
take.
that? I almost
Jesse
put
Bates. Hot take.
Oh.
I almost put him 3, just so you couldn't put him 6. I'm serious.
You knew I was gonna have him 6.
I don't know. I
See,
knew one of you
this-
guys were going to underrate him.
See, this is making this fun now because I had a guy at either 6 or 7. I don't know if I could put him at 5, but I sure as hell can't put him at 8.
It's Derwin.
Yep. I'm not putting him 8. I will go next. I will put Derwin James from the Chargers at number 5.
See, I had him at 5 anyway. All right, so I'm going to take a guy that might not get picked on this list, and I'm going to put him on this list. And this guy, I don't care what stats tell you, this man was the heart and attitude
my next pick
of the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Give me CJ Gardner Johnson at number 9.
Attaboy.
Okay, CJ,
Love it.
GJ, and 9. Okay. All right. Well, all right. That's where we're going. I'm putting a guy on this list that I don't know if they were going to make it or not. I'm going the guy that is a new age safety over there where they used to have this little team called the Legion of Boom. I'm going with Julian Love for the Seattle Seahawks. I'm putting him at number 10.
Okay.
So we have 8. What's left? We have 8.
3, 4, and 8.
8, 3.
3, 4, 5. Or 8, 3, or 4.
8. Yeah, 3, 4, 8.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, I know why.
I love the Gardner thing though. I was going to put him at 10. All right. Well, I'm not getting stuck with the hard one here. I will go with number 4. I will go with Brian Branch of the Detroit Lions.
You put him at 4. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Oh, then I have Antoine Winfield at 3 or 8. And I don't think he's 3. But if I put him at 8, then Control's got to put like somebody like Javon Holland at 3. That's hilarious. I'll do that. I'll go have fun. Screw it. Antoine Winfield Jr. I'll put him at number 8.
Yes.
God, Control, who's number 3?
Hey, all right, that's fine. 8 Winfield. I got my guy who was actually at number 8, but we want to play games here. You know what? Your team's on the hot seat. Maybe he's gonna get launched out of a missile out in Arizona. Give me Buda Baker, guy who's been there before. Maybe he gets back to the top of the mountain. We're gonna put Buda Baker at number 3.
I had Buda at 10.
I'm at 9.
I have
If
at 8.
If I would have put Antoine Winfield at 3, he would have put Buda at 8.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad I screwed him up. I did a good job there. All right, well, I get to go first on the corners list, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Well, yeah, I mean, if you still want to keep it that way now that.
Well, I won 4 picks.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll start with number 9. I don't play games here. Number 9, give me Quintanamo Begg. Give me Quinyon Mitchell of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Would be you, Control.
Oh, I'm next here? Okay. Yeah. All right, well, just so Gene doesn't get any ideas here, let's go number 3, Denzel Ward.
Well, I couldn't fix it because if I would have took number 3, you would have put him over. You would put him over Stingley.
Number.
Gene, you said number 9, right?
Yeah, number 9.
Yeah. For Quinyon.
That's where I have him on my list, so figure out put him number 9.
Yep.
Messes my list up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
What, 3 and 9 messed you up that much?
3 did.
Let's move Stalls to 4.
I'm going. I only get 3 picks here, so I'm taking number 1 then. I'm going Patrick Surtain the second.
I know, it'd be boring. It's fine.
You know.
Number 5 on my list. I'm going Jalen Johnson of the Chicago Bears, a guy that I think is severely underrated. Great man-to-man corner, physical. Love Jalen Johnson.
Right. So we're going that direction then. I want to go with the guy who I also feel is underrated. Bill gave this guy a ton of love last year, and me and Gene almost laughed him off the show for putting him in his top 10, but he actually had a really good year. J.C. Horn of the Carolina Panthers. I'm going with J.C. Horn, number 8. As quiet as it's kept, he is number 8 for J.C. Horn.
Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's one of my best hits from last year.
He shouldn't even be on. He should be number 10, if anything.
Number 8.
Oh my God, you guys are out of your mind. Am I up or is it Bill?
No, it's me.
I'm gonna make you guys. Oh, it's gonna screw me up.
Good.
God, it's so dumb.
I feel like I'm staying out of the controversy. I feel like I'm staying out of the controversy here.
Yeah, Bill's about to go to either 10 or 2.
I'm about to go to 2.
He's staying out the meat. He's staying out the meat and potatoes.
2 is easy. 2 is easy.
I'm going number 2. Let you two fight the rest of this out. I'll go number 2. I'll go Derek Stingley Jr.
So what do we have left?
We have 4, 6, 7, 10.
Okay. So I'll take you put him 8, so I'll put him 7. Give me Devon Witherspoon at number 7 because he should be ahead of J.C. Horn, and I can't allow that. She's better.
Witherspoon. All right, let me go back up to my list here for corners. Putting me in a tough spot here. That's cool. Number 6. I'll go number 6. I will take Trent McDuffie. Former slot in Kansas City. Now he's playing outside. Definitely wasn't. I think he's a better slot, but he's still locked down. So I'm putting McDuffie at number 6.
So that leaves 2 guys that should be in the top 6 and only 1 spot, right?
What do we have left? 10 and what?
2 guys that should be in the top. No,
I mean,
you got one guy that's a bona fide top.
I don't know how either one of them would be. So what do we have left? 4 and 10?
4 and 10.
This is insane. That either one of these guys is going to be 10 is insane.
All right, well, I'll put Sauce at 4.
Christian Gonzalez is 10. That's insane. This is what we get for putting J.C. Horn at 8.
That's where he belongs.
Well, Denzel at 3 didn't help either.
No.
I mean, hey, that's what the execs agree. They do something right over there.
You want to go by the execs list? We can go by those lists for everything. Those lists suck. Speaking of execs list, Cooper DeJean being at number 10 or number 60 is atrocious. He didn't even think he was going to be on the list. Neither did Jordan Mailata. Doesn't deserve to be on the list. Top 100 players in the NFL. I want to ask you guys a question real quick. Malik Neighbors was number 66. Brian Thomas Jr. was 62. They were both clearly better rookies. Jalen Ramsey was 65. Can you imagine being Jalen Ramsey, being one of the top corners in all football all this time? And Cooper DeJean, who, by the way, only started 12 games last year, had 0 interceptions in the regular season. His first interception was in the postseason.
Well, when you get an interception in the Super Bowl, you get a lot of love.
Patrick threw the ball to him.
That's what all interceptions are.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm just saying, like, there's a reason why, and I'm not saying he doesn't belong there, but like, there's a reason why Jalen Hurts was looked at as a 8-9 quarterback. You go win the Super Bowl, and it's like, all right, we got Jalen at 5. Like, you just get moved up on lists when you perform in those big games. And I'm not saying I agree with it because I saw Neighbors behind Thomas, and I was like, I definitely don't agree with that. But both of them behind Cooper, I was like, they are out of their mind.
Those 2 are really bad. The Jalen one doesn't bug me that much. I mean, Jalen is on the backside, however you want to slice it. He's still a very, very good corner, but I mean,
you don't think Jalen Ramsey's a better corner than Cooper DeJean right now?
I think we're going – I mean, let's not act like Jalen Ramsey had some great year last year. I'm not saying Cooper should be 60. I'm just saying Like Jalen Ramsey is not the exception there. It's the other two. Like, I mean,
I'm comparing position to position.
I get it, but
position to position. I don't know if Cooper DeJean's mama would have Cooper DeJean over Jalen Ramsey. But that's wild. I can't. I was so annoyed when I seen that list. And I have a Cooper DeJean jersey. Love Cooper DeJean. But come on. Number 60? Are we out of our minds?
Yeah. I guess I just don't understand either because, like, and I guess position does matter, but, like, they also had Bo Nix in the 60s, and it's like,
oh, God. They had Bo Nix that had Jordan Love.
Yeah, which is insane. So I don't know. If you're talking about positions like Jordan Mailata, you say you didn't think he was going to be on there. Well, Jordan Mailata was arguably the best left tackle in football last year. So, like,
no, Jordan Mailata didn't think Cooper DeJean was going to be on the list. So they interviewed him and they said, "What do you feel about Cooper DeJean?" He's like, "Cooper made the top 100. Good for Cooper." He goes, "Yeah, he was number 60." He goes, "Wait, he's higher than me?" And like Jordan Mailata should be top 30.
That's what I'm saying.
Number one graded left tackle in football last year.
You have an all-pro caliber left tackle, and you have your what?
Nickel corner
slot. You got your slot at number 60. Like, that's crazy to me.
I completely agree with you. And by the way, I don't mean to say this. I know this is. I know I'm going off script real quick. The Club 99s got released for Madden. You've seen the 7 of them.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm glad Lane Johnson is a Club 99. I am. I think it's like a lifetime achievement award for him.
Yep.
I'm happy for him. But for us to pretend that this guy hasn't given up a sack, you're not watching the game. Stop doing that. I hate the way they credit offensive linemen with sacks. Well, they disengage so the sack doesn't go against the offensive lineman. I watched Lane Johnson give up multiple sacks. He's a very good right tackle. Maybe the second best right tackle, third best right tackle in football. But stop pretending that he didn't give up a sack all last year and going by offensive lineman stats. They're absurd. I watched it with my own 2 eyes, him giving up sacks. And they don't credit these offensive linemen with sacks. Listen, I'm the biggest Jordan Mailata fan you'll ever meet. I put him number 3 last year on the offensive linemen's list and the tackles list because I love Jordan Mailata. Jared Verse beat him like he stole something, and Jordan Mailata got credit for no sacks in the game. Like, what were we watching? I hate the way they give offensive linemen credit. I'm going to make something very clear to you. And Eagles fans, don't be mad at me. I love Lane Johnson. He is the 3rd best right tackle in football. Not tackle, right tackle. Last year, Penei Sewell and Joe Alt were better right tackles than him. Sorry. Watch the tape.
Yeah, I mean, it's what it is now. I mean, he was also the best right tackle for football for 5 or 6 years in a row.
100%. I agree with that.
So, I mean, he's going to the Hall of Fame. I mean, it is what it is.
Just being
honest.
Say
the one thing with the 99 clubs, though, is I was
Who were the other 6? Because I didn't see him.
Okay, so
Chase,
Lamar. I got you. Lamar and Josh were the quarterbacks. Saquon at running back. Jettas and Jamar Chase were the wide receivers. Myles Garrett and Lane Johnson were the linemen.
I don't know in what world Derrick Henry is not 99 overall. I get you have Saquon as a running back there, but I mean, Derrick Henry was literally unstoppable all of last year. I don't know what he would have had to do to be 99 overall, especially when you had him as a 99 overall, and then he has that season. Like any other year where Saquon doesn't go for 2,000 yards, Derrick Henry is your runaway offensive player of the year last year. Any other year.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
What's up?
Are we watering down Club 99?
What do you mean?
What I mean by that is when Club 99 first came out, it was J.J. Watt.
Exclusive, yeah.
That's who it was. It was J.J. Watt. And then it was J.J. Watt and Aaron Donald. But, like, we have 7 Club 99ers this year. Last year, Travis Kelce was a 99.
Yeah,
are we watering down the goddamn Club 99? We're watering it down, right?
I mean, he went into the years of 99. He had a bad year, and he's not back on it this year. I mean, Chase and Jettas, you can't argue.
Okay. I can argue Lane.
I agree with you on Lane. You said who? You said Chase and Lamar were the quarterbacks.
Lamar and Josh Allen.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Can't argue Saquon. And who was the other one?
Myles Garrett. I mean, they're all the best players at their position, like for statistics. Now, let me be clear when I say this. I've never seen two quarterbacks be listed 99s, and universally, they're not listed as the number one quarterback in football. If I'm being completely honest, I think they're third and fourth. But they're both 99s in Madden.
I think they get 99s too because of the other part of it's also because they run
the other part of the game. Yeah,
the other part of the game.
Yeah,
Joe and Mahomes don't do that. They scramble when they have to and run, but I mean they're not scoring 10 rushing touchdowns a year like those two guys are either.
I need to see what Joe Burrow's deep accuracy is in the game. Like it's got to be the best in the game.
I mean, outside of Pat, I'm sure.
Deep accuracy?
Yeah, it's got.
I think Joe's is better.
Patrick Mahomes. I'm saying that Patrick Mahomes is in a video game. Patrick Mahomes is going to be probably 99 everything. They had to probably lower him because his numbers weren't great last year.
I think that Mahomes and Derrick Henry are 98s, but that's not released yet.
Yeah, well, what's the name? Chad said Ocho came on ESPN and said that Pat is 98. He said he showed a little chink in the armor last year. So 98.
You want to talk about 98s? You want to talk about people that had rough years? You want to talk about people on ESPN that said stupid stuff? Did you guys see Mike Tannenbaum's top 5 NFC quarterbacks list?
I did.
Oh my God.
Jordan Love at number 1.
Did you see it, Chow?
I did not.
Let me read it. Number 5, Baker Mayfield.
I thought you were going to talk about Shannon Sharp getting fired today, but keep going.
Number 5, Baker Mayfield. Number 4, Jalen Hurts. Number 3, Jared Goff. Number 2, Jaden Daniels. And number 1, Jordan Love. Top 5, Matthew Stafford, not on the list.
I've said it before. I think he gets this. I think Jordan Love's good. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's probably peaked yet, but he gets this huge bump from that freaking playoff game. Like you look at where he was before that year, didn't have like a great year, had a very good year. Went to Dallas, put up 44 or whatever the hell it was. And then next year, like literally, as soon as we got in that offseason, Jordan Love's top 5 quarterback. And I'm like, no, he's not. Jordan Love. Did you watch the game? Jordan Love's a top 5 quarterback in the league. I'm like, okay. What happened? I don't know. You put him number 1, and that guy I think he used to be a GM, so that's pretty wild to me.
Well, this is Kyle Tannenbaum keeps reminding people why he doesn't work for a team anymore.
Fair.
That is an absurd top 5 NFC quarterbacks list.
It is absolutely crazy, and I just don't understand. And I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but like I truly don't understand the level of fear that some people have with Jared Goff. Like I don't. Am I the one that's missing something here? Like he has arm talent. Like don't get me wrong, but like when I think of like, and then granted, this is only the top 5 in the NFC East. There's no planet on earth. Like there's a reason why the Los Angeles Rams traded Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford and then went and won a Super Bowl. Like there's on no planet that I'm taking Jared Goff, even at this stage now with what I know about Matthew Stafford's elbow, like put both those guys on the football field. I want Matthew Stafford as my quarterback before I want Jared Goff.
We can't act like Jared Goff hasn't progressed the last 3 years. We can't pretend that didn't happen.
I'm not saying it didn't happen, but progression from being let's call it like it is, a Jimmy Garoppolo caliber quarterback that went to the Super Bowl and lost.
That's a little bit much. I mean,
I think Jared Goff. So you guys thought Jared Goff was special before?
I thought he was better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
I get it. I get it. He was better. He's probably better than Jimmy, but Jimmy got to my point is he got to a Super Bowl.
I hear your point. I think he's a jag. I watch quarterback, and I'm just being very clear when I say this. He comes off as a jag. He comes off as a guy that has a very good offensive line, 2 very good wide receivers, a very good running game, and a very good offensive coordinator. And he's a good quarterback. I don't think I'm not as low on him as you are. I'm probably not as high on him as Shally is.
I'm not as high.
Like 13.
I'm not high. I'm not saying he's elite, but at the same time, you have to appreciate and respect what he's done the last 3 years, like Gene said. To go from probably being on the verge of out of the league, getting traded to, at that time, debatably the worst team in the league, and now putting up the numbers that he did and resurrecting his career and probably showing what he could do in a system where he either understands it better or a coach that game plan better to his strengths. Obviously, to your point, Stafford was a better fit for what McVay wanted to do. They got to Super Bowl. It's a win-win for everybody. I'm not going to shit on the guy, though. I'm not. Like
I'm not shitting on the guy. I never said he was a bad quarterback, but there is a reason why the Rams, as an organization, said, "Hey, we got Jared Goff. He's younger. He's this. He's that." There's a reason why they said, "Hey, Detroit, we'll give you Jared Goff and a first-round pick for Matthew Stafford." And there's a reason why they went and won a Super Bowl.
Well, that was 2 first-round picks.
Even makes the point even more.
Yeah. This is a good question. Goff or Baker?
I mean, as far as
I
like the question.
I think Baker has more upside. I'd go Baker.
Wow.
Coming from the guy that ran him out of Cleveland. Wasn't the guy.
I still don't think he's the guy. Like, I don't think Baker Mayfield ever wins a Super Bowl.
Nobody on your roster is going to win a Super Bowl.
But that's the thing. I don't look at it like that. Like, oh, Baker's better than any quarterback in Browns history. Like, I'm not satisfied just making the playoffs. Like, I thought the Browns took a swing. They wanted to go after Deshaun Watson, who at the time everybody had as a top 5 quarterback on their list. And we're talking about a Browns team that lost to the Chiefs by 6 points in a playoff game when we know the Chiefs were what they were. They said, hey, let's go out and get a top 5 quarterback and see what we can have happen. They swung, they missed, but I'm okay with that. They didn't want to settle for just making the playoffs every year because we'd end up like Pittsburgh for the last 9 years. Like, no one wants to be the last 9 years of Pittsburgh.
I don't look at this settling either. Like, it's like, okay, you go to Kansas City and lose by 6 with a couple questionable calls. I don't know how you don't turn around and be like, okay, like everything is going in the right direction. And then again, to the same thing with Goff and even Stafford, like he's proven, I don't think you could turn around and say that he was the problem. Like he's gone to Tampa Bay now and found a team that believes in him and backs him, and now he's putting up big numbers again. Like,
have they won a Super Bowl?
Well,
is Cleveland closer or further away than winning a Super Bowl than were with Baker?
Further.
Okay, so who's right, who's wrong?
I mean, the move that you can judge the move itself. The move was right. I don't care what planet you're on. Deshaun Watson in 2022 was a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. That's not revisionist history. You can say that definitively without a shadow of a doubt. When they made that move, Deshaun Watson was a better quarterback. Did it backfire? Yes, but there is no doubt who the better quarterback was at that time.
Okay, and things change. Who's the better quarterback now?
Baker Mayfield,
without a doubt.
Neither the guy that won the Super Bowl.
I look at it like this. I felt like that Baker Mayfield is progressed in Tampa Bay. I feel like that the right situation. He's now had 2 guys promoted to head coach around him in Canales and Liam Cohen. I'll be interested to see how he continues to progress with another offensive coordinator in 3 straight years. I think this will be a down year for Tampa Bay offensively. You go from Canales to Cohen, and then you have to get a 3rd offense coordinator. It'll be different. I think their offense will be a little bit worse. But with that being said, I'm taking Jared Goff over Baker, but not by much. I just think the fun thing is the Jared Goff or Baker, Jared Goff or Jordan Love.
I think put to your point right there, and to Cottrell's point, I think you need to see what what golf looks like this year without Ben Johnson now. So
correct. We get to see both of them this year with a new
Yeah.
offensive coordinator.
yeah, so
But I've seen Baker do it with 3 offense coordinators. I've seen Goff do it with 1.
true. And
Two,
and that's
Captain
the point.
Bay.
Yeah,
And then you're gonna see Caleb with Ben. Like Caleb's gonna be another wild card that
That's not looked good so far in training camp.
It has
That
not.
does not look good so far.
And
That's what
DJ's
training camp
comments
is
the other
for.
day didn't paint a good picture about it either.
that is quite literally what training camp is for.
You're right.
It's supposed to look bad now.
All right, let's get into You Got to Be Kidding Me, gentlemen. Don't do it. There's 100 of them this week, Shal. 100.
Staying positive. Too much negativity in life.
Why are you staying positive? There's
100 of them.
There is definitely a million of them this week. I'm just getting back to mine. I'm trying to get everything. All right, so I got a funny one. I'm keeping it light this week. I'm going to the WNBA. So last night there was a game between the Atlanta Dream and the Golden State Valkyrie there, and it was fourth quarter. The game is late, and
Alien.
there was a green object that just flew in the air and landed on the court. They had to stop play and attend to this item. And, on the broadcast, they're talking about, there's this green item on the floor and, it's uncalled for and, who threw this out there and things like that. Well, whoever the TV crew is at Ion, they were like, this is my moment. I got to get a shot of this. And whoever was back in the truck, they were like, hey, camera two, you're hot. You're hot. Go to it. They take to it. And it is a green dildo thrown on the floor of the WNBA basketball game. And while that is absolutely hilarious that it happened, also can't happen. Obviously, you're there to support. Like, you bought tickets to this game. Like, this is a growing sport and things like that. And trolling, while it's funny, no place like for this to happen at WNBA games. So I guess this is the 2-part. The fan that threw it, you should be banned from a stadium, for forever. And the TV crew for saying, hey, we got to make sure that people see this on TV. While it's absolutely hilarious, I feel like you gotta do a better job than that. So this week for me, green dildo flying on the floor in WNBA.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
Shy doesn't have one. I have multiples.
Whoever threw it's got a shitty arm. You at least got to get it out like on the court.
Court stuck.
Yeah, like yeah. They got to stop the game because you can't have somebody run over it. You can't just throw it by the bench. You're gonna go. if you listen, like Charles said, if you're getting banned at that point, you get banned. I mean, like don't half-ass it. Just throw that thing with some love out in the middle of the court.
Do you have one, Shal?
No,
I have 2 then. I'll
roll with it.
All right, first one I have a video for. I have a video for both. Give me 1 second. I just got to share my screen. I have this floating camera again. Let's see if it works better today than it did earlier. This was a nightmare earlier. Floating it so we don't think we can see it bigger. All right, so go here.
Floating screen. I've never heard of this.
Yep. Can you guys see my screen?
It says floating player turned off. Well, turned on.
All right.
1-2 pitch.
Don't see anything.
High in the air, deep to right.
We have audio. That's it.
Have
hold on.
audio, no video.
I'm going to just turn the floating off.
1-2 pitch. High in the air.
All right, let me try this one more time.
There we go. Now we can see it.
You can see it?
Yep. You did what's going on.
I'll put it right back on. I got you. This is insane. So insane to me.
I think I've seen this one.
1-2 pitch. High in the air, deep to right. That ball is foul. Or gone.
That ball was absolutely launched. Law Dog posing him up at the dish. He knew it off the bat. It was just a matter of how far.
I just want to show you again.
1-2 pitch. High in the air, deep to right. That ball is foul.
Like, what are we doing? Like, how is that real? And then I got another one. I got one more, and I want to kind of get into this, and hopefully me and Shally can talk about this for a minute. But throw it up there real quick for you guys. This is insanity to me. And listen, I'm just be very clear. Let me share my screen, and I'm perfectly fine with what happened because of who my team is. But this is an embarrassment. This is an absolute joke.
Wanting a reaction.
And Cease misses. Oh, we got a generous call off the plate. And Soto's a little hot. And the breaking ball is in there for a call, strike 3. And Soto has more to complain about with Emil Jimenez. And he better watch it. Carlos Mendoza comes out to save his player. Carlos Mendoza's been ejected. And Soto takes a slider up out of the zone. Did he call it a strike? No, come on.
And that time it looked like he was looking at him, hoping for a response. I don't like that. This pitch is clearly above the zone. I mean, that's at his elbow. That's high. He delays, calls a strike, and then just stares at Juan, wanting a reaction. Okay, you want to say something? Nah, don't make yourself a part of the action.
So, look, I'm a Phillies fan. Am I happy that the Mets got screwed over in that game? Absolutely. I want the Mets to lose the game. The way Major League Baseball umpires are behaving this year it's absurd. I've never seen like a more egregious, let me look you in the face. Let me look you directly in the face, take my time, and call you out on a pitch I know is a ball. Delayed strike 3, a foot above the strike zone. That was awful. That was terrible. He should be thrown off the umpires committee. That won't happen because Angel Hernandez was there for 100 years and making terrible calls on top of terrible calls. I feel like these umpires just want the robo umpire at this point because this is how bad they've been. I understand it's hot. I understand it's frustrating. I understand you don't get a lot of credit. That's a joke. That's an absolute joke. So for that, this week, the A's announcer and the umpire in the Mets-Padres game are you got to be kidding me.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
Shao, your thoughts on the umpire?
They suck. I've been saying it for 3.5 years now, and it's gotten worse. I'm actually kind of worried about how they're going to be down the stretch because at that point it'll be known 100% one way or the other if we're going to get robos next year, which, again, I think we're going to. So at that point, I really hope they don't get carried away and start doing this all the time because if you start wrecking playoff baseball games with this shit, you're gonna piss off a lot of people real fast. So, I think it's the first at bat. Those pitches were definite balls, but at least they're close. The second one, the thing's damn near at his neck. It's not a strike, and like the announcer said, you're implementing yourself in a game. Nobody pays money to come watch the umpires. I know they think they do, but they don't. And then you're trying to get a reaction on Juan Soto, to throw him out. So I hate everything about that whole interaction. It's dog shit across the board.
Oh, and by the way, Damien's 100% correct. I'm going to bring this up real quick. I know we're over time. Sorry. I want to read this out to you guys real quick. You guys know what happened earlier this week in Las Vegas, correct? With the shooter that tried to go into the NFL. They went on the wrong elevator and ended up killing 4 people and a police officer. 5 people died by a guy that claimed that he had CTE from high school football. So he was trying to shoot people in the NFL executives. Skip Bayless, who always seems to hit the mark. I mean, this guy's on point with everything he said.
Oh,
right. Thank God I just want to read this again. Let me just read it again. Thank God the New York City shooter apparently took the wrong bank of elevators and didn't make it to the NFL floors. He reportedly bizarrely blamed the NFL for what he believed to be CTE suffered from playing high school football. Thank God he killed 5 people. Thank God. Like, are you out of your mind? The first comment on here is great. Thank God he only killed peasants, right, Skip? Basically what he said.
Basically what he said.
Yeah, thank God he only killed a cop that was off duty. I mean, it's like you said, Skip just has that tendency to just really, really always hit the moral conscience of what everybody's thinking when these things happen.
I'm not a fan, obviously. He's another. You got to be kidding me. Do me a favor. Click it again. He deserves it.
Skip Bayless?
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
Frustrated. But any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Got one. I think Bill's going to echo the same sentiments here. Coast to Coast is back. It is back. It is going to be in full effect here this upcoming Saturday. We are all excited. Well, I shouldn't speak for Bill. I don't know if he's excited, but I'm excited. I know Alex is excited. And it's going to be a crazy year. You got back-to-back Big Ten national champions. So if the history of the show kind of serves correctly here, it's looking like you want to cash in all your chips on Oregon winning the first ever national championship. So excited. It'll be back on Saturday. We'll have more.
Whoa.
We're
not cashing our chips on Oregon. We'll have a third Big Ten champion that'll win the national championship this year, but it's not going to be friggin' Oregon.
We're talking coast to coast here. I was trying to show Alex. I don't think Oregon's going to win it either, for what it's worth. But I'm just saying, hey,
Gene wants to get paid out before Alex. But yeah, I mean, we'll be back Saturday. We'll get into kind of all the off-season news. We'll dive back into the Dion thing as well, and we'll have a full. We're doing an ACC, I believe, Saturday. So yes. Full ACC preview. I think everybody on the show is happy. We're legit we're in the countdown mode for football, both college and pro. So I mean, it's I can't wait.
It's the final countdown.
Could always do without your singing though.
Why? No, P&D is on tonight. Going to be breaking down full MLB. Podcast name deferred, which is, by the way, one of the best podcast names I've heard. Hilarious. For a baseball podcast name deferred, we deferred our name like the Dodgers deferred their payroll. I love that. I think that's make sure you check out podcast name deferred tonight at 10 p.m. They have a special guest, Tony. Who's your special guest tonight? I know you got 10 seconds to write in there as fast as you can. He's got a special guest tonight, and
it's funny that it's deferred, and the poster child for that just left the game, so it's I
think he stayed in the game. I think he's hitting still.
No, it can't be that bad then.
I'm curious to see too. I'm gonna have to definitely tune in tonight. Cause I'm curious to see if they touch on, and I know we didn't touch on it today at all, but Bryce Harper ripping in the Rob Manfred. So. Very interested.
Greg Rawlings from We Don't Know Sports will be on the show tonight.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah. Bryce Harper getting in Rob Manfred's face. Tell him, get the F out of my locker room. I love it. Or get the F out of my dugout, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Scally?
No, I mean, I love that, but I mean, I think Bryce is going to lose that fight eventually. I don't know if it's going to be a cap per se, but they definitely have to put a floor in. And then go from there. It just you can't have these teams spending $30 million a year anymore. It just can't happen.
I think a cap and a floor, 100%. $200 million cap, $100 million floor. Let me be the guy that just does it for you. You're welcome.
200
million
too
cap
low.
will never happen.
Never
It's too
happened.
low.
They will never play. They will sit 162 games before they agree to the $200 million cap.
$200 million cap, $100 million floor. Let's even out baseball.
I'm all for evening out baseball. 200's way too low, though.
All right. Well, that's all we got today on Wire2Wire. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate all the shares. Appreciate all the comments in the chat. I'm the NFL genius, Gene Walzak. That's Kent State's own, Cleveland's own College Control. Uncle Shally, Scholastic Shally, Mr. William Shawcross. And we are Kent State. Signing out.